I found a good quote for the day, a thought for the day, actually. It's from Sir John Lubbock. I'm not familiar with who Sir John Lubbock is, but here's what he said. Rest is not idleness. And to lie sometimes on the grass under trees on a summer's day, listening to the murmur of the water, or watching the clouds float across the sky, is by no means a waste of time. Which is kind of funny because I use an app called Insight Timer to do my meditations. And hang on a second. And today it was talking about burnout. It was actually offering a free 10-day course in burnout or overload, if you like. This kind of fits in with it. I'm not saying I'm an overload or burnout, but it's good sometimes to step back and just realize that often when we just pull back and look at things afresh, things actually start to move faster. So what does that have to do with today's reading? Well, really everything, because everything's interconnected. And the title for today is Spiritual Law is Absolute. The spiritual law is absolute. The laws of nature are but the thoughts of God. And that was Ralph Waldo Emerson. Emerson was real big on nature and connecting to the divine through nature. The road to freedom lies not through mysteries or occult performances, but through the intelligent use of natural forces and laws. And that was none other than Ernest Holmes in a publication called Creative Mind. And apparently we've come to the end of what we believe, or as I said earlier, what Ernest Holmes originally said is what I believe. And then religious science as a whole adopted that. And this is Rev Dr John Waterhouse, who says, now that we've completed our exploration of Ernest Holmes' list of principles, I offer some other quotes that significantly influenced my life. We begin with the core principle that spiritual awareness does not come through secret rituals or mystical ceremonies or any other occult practices. Instead, we gain visible understanding by immersing ourselves in the application of spiritual principles. The more we do that, the more we grow and free ourselves from the perceived limitations in our thinking. And he would say spiritual principles were definitely, Ernest Holmes, what I believe. He says, I love rituals, especially the ones I learned and practiced through my study of Native American spirituality. But I do not rely on those rituals to keep me centered in spiritual truth. That is a moment-by-moment choice that I must make. Spiritual law is absolute. No one can manipulate it. We can only use it to our benefit or suffer the consequences when we do not. So he's saying we have two choices, really. Use it for your benefit, or in effect, use it against yourself. Which do you prefer? We're truly free when we learn how the law works and use it intelligently and consistently. Thought plus feeling equals belief is really kind of a summary of that. Ernest Holmes states that principle is infinite, it's absolute, and it's demonstrable. Principle isn't a respecter of persons, neither is it bound by precedent. And there's actually, principle isn't bound by precedent is the actual expression. Principle being the divine. Truth is universal and accessible to everyone all of the time. When our thinking is harmonious, when it's clear, and when it's faithful to spiritual principles, the conditions of our lives inevitably improve. So there you are. That is Rev Dr John Waterhouse. And I'll tell you this today. Today is hot. It's hot out there. And if you're in any place where there's like concrete and it just bounces back at you, I've just came back in and I'm still sweating actually. It's pretty hot. So I'm asking everybody here to hold in mind all those in hot parts of the world who do not have air conditioning, and also all the animals outside, whether they're, how do I say, domesticated animals or not domesticated animals. Hold them all in your prayers, even if you only offer one prayer. You know, Eckhart Tolle is reputed to have said that one breath where you just concentrate on that one breath is in itself a meditation. So he's saying, hey, if you just concentrate on one breath, the in and the out, and think nothing else, that, my friends, is a meditation. So you don't have to go to tremendous lengths in order to do a spiritual mind treatment. It can be simple, and it's what you think and what you feel that really matters. I accept, embrace, and embody the truth of my being, that I am an expression of the divine. My life is divine, or if you prefer, if that's too much for you, my life is the divine expressing itself, which kind of takes the ego out to me. My life is the divine expressing itself, which, if you say my life is the divine, can lead some people towards ego, and we're not moving towards ego, we're moving away from ego in the sense that we're moving towards controlling our egos, not getting rid of them. It's not getting rid of ego at all. You need ego to interface in the modern world, but you also need the ego to be under control. And you can see what happens in the world out there when people's egos, and our own sometimes, are not in control, and we just operate straight from ego, and that doesn't do anybody any good, right? But the other flip side of the coin is that when our egos are under control and we're acting in a controlled manner, then we benefit not only ourselves but everyone with whom we come into contact. So please look out for my wonderful colleague Reverend Lisa Ryan tomorrow, and look out for me tomorrow around about 5 p.m. My apologies for the delay today. It was partly due to having to go on errand and partly due to technology. So you could know for me, how about this? Let's flip it around. Please know for me that my technology works perfectly from this day on, or at least it works perfectly when I'm doing my readings every day. Thank you. Namaste.